what are we going to do with people who mock us, who jeer at us, who take the piss out of tarot readers and people who are into divination? What do we do with them? Before I start this video, I just want to tell you that this video is not aimed at people whose families and friends are extremely anti tarot reading or divination in any form. I'm not aiming this video at those of you who are practicing in secret, who are still in the closet, who are afraid to practice, who cannot practice openly. This video is aimed at those of us who practice tarot but are getting a bad rap, or are being mocked or ridiculed or slighted by our friends and family, who know that we do this but don't quite understand it all, or think we're actually a bit mentally deranged. Okay, that's who I'm speaking to now. So how do you deal with snide remarks and people sniping at you? Hi, welcome back. Okay, so I'm a very forthright person. I don't take shit lying down. I have very strong beliefs. They are my beliefs. I read tarot, I read oracle cards, I do prayers to deities, I dabble in a little bit of witchcraft here, a little bit of stuff there, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I take from lots of different spiritual beliefs what I can incorporate into my own daily life, and I leave what I don't need behind for someone else to use. That does not make me a freak, that does not make me a weirdo, all right? So I do not take lightly to being looked down upon, being frowned upon, and being treated like a freak or a weirdo by anyone, whether it's by my family or whether it's by people I know or friends. However, there are many of us out there who just put up with this crap. We just basically allow our families to say, oh, geez, you know, there goes Mari again. She's getting out her cards, stupid girl, whatever. Okay. A lot of the time, these people are acting out of a position of ignorance and fear. And that's where it all stems from, because I'm sure that they have seen your predictions have come true, they've seen your readings, they know what you're talking about, they know that you know what you're talking about. And that scares them. It puts them at a disadvantage. Of course it does. And so they will lash out in any way they can. And one of the ways that people tend to lash out is by being extremely condescending. You see, you don't have to be a complete and utter bitch to be a complete and utter bitch. There are many, many ways that you can be rude and obnoxious and then turn around and say, oh, me? I'm not rude, I'm not obnoxious. I support your tarot reading. When in actual fact, no, Georgina, you don't support my tarot reading. You are always being condescending to me. You're always looking down at me. So how do we deal with people like this? A couple of the things that you're going to notice, or that you may have noticed people doing, is people will say to you things like, so you believe in all this stuff? Yes, I wouldn't own 150 decks of cards if I didn't believe in all of this stuff. Yes, I do believe in all of this stuff. And then I would generally, or what we would generally do, is try and go into a speech where we try to convince these people this is why I believe in all that stuff. Well, you don't have to do that. Why are you doing that? Why are you trying to convince people? Just say, yes, I do believe in that sort of thing. You then have people who say, oh, I see you read tarot cards. Does that sort of thing work? Again, yes, it works. I wouldn't be wasting my time doing this if it didn't work. I wouldn't be charging people money to do this if it didn't work. I wouldn't have brought happiness and contentment and relief to so many, many people if it didn't work. Again, don't try and convince them that you're not going to do it, okay? You then get the people that will say to you, okay, if you say this works, let's see you do it. Do a reading for me. My advice to you is don't. Don't do a reading for them. And let me tell you why. They are not wanting a reading. They are wanting to prove you wrong. And no matter what you say, no matter what comes up in that reading, they will refute it. They will say, no, that's rubbish. Or they'll go, yeah, right. Okay. So my advice to you is don't do that reading for somebody who tries to do that to you. Now, understand that you can deal with this sort of situation in any way you like. But look at where it's coming from. Look at where the reactions are coming from. If it's coming from within your family, your immediate family, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, whatever, handle it tactfully. Don't touch on the subject of cartomancy, tarot reading, or whatever it is. Don't try to convince them that you are right and they are wrong. Or don't try to convince them that they are wrong. Okay? Just either let it go and tackle the subject at a later date when you are not doing a reading, or when the cards are not out, or when the subject has not been brought up. You could perhaps say to them, look guys, you know what, I do need to talk to you about something. This is happening and it upsets me. It makes me feel uncomfortable, whatever. Okay, so don't deal with the situation at the time that it's happening. Remove yourself from any negative vibes, any negative situation, any doubtful situation. Let the situation pass, and then at a later date confront it on your terms. That puts the power back where it belongs, with you. The other thing that I'm going to suggest you do is don't come across as I'm right and you're wrong, or don't come across as being too powerful and too sure that this is the right thing, that too wanting to prove yourself. Okay, first of all, you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Okay, be it to your family or your friends or your partner. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You know you have a gift. You know you can do this. Okay, that should be enough for you. The universe has given you this as something to use. It's allowed you to be intuitive. It's allowed you to be empathic. All right, this is how you are. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. A lot of the time, people get, what is the word? Picked on. Let's say picked upon. Because they tend to get very into what they're doing. I get very passionate when it comes to tarot cards and esoteric stuff. So I get very passionate, and I want everybody to know, so I talk about it a lot. And it can be quite daunting and actually quite boring for people who are not interested in it. Also, people who, like myself, I tend to sometimes, when I'm not in the company of people who know that I do this or believe in this sort of thing, I tend to become quite animated, and it makes people a little uncomfortable because it does come across as if I'm preaching. We must be very aware that we don't want to be preachy, okay? Because as soon as you start preaching about something, people immediately get on the defensive and they will start picking on you and going, oh really, oh really, show me how it works. Okay, one of the biggest questions that you will get asked, of course, is how does this work? If you believe in it, show me how it works. How does it work? Not so much do a reading for me, but show me how it works. And of course, often that is very difficult for you to explain. I have done a video on whether it's magic or psychology. So when I try to explain tarot reading to people, I tend to go the psychology route. I tend to say to them, look, this is how it would work. Think about it in this way. Think about body language, reading people's eye movement, that sort of thing. And I tend to stay away from the whole energy aspect of it. That's my thing. That's how the energy aspect is my personal thing. The psychology side of it is an easier way to explain to people how this works. So there are many different things that you can think about, many different ways that you can overcome these snide remarks. One of the ways you can do it is just to ignore it and understand that people are going to say what they're going to say. What's that saying? It's a modern saying, young people, haters are going to hate. That's what the younger people say. Haters are going to hate. So let them fucking hate. I don't give a shit. You know, it would be great if I could come across and get everyone to understand what I do. But don't allow anyone to steal your magic. Don't allow anyone to usurp your power. Keep doing what you're doing. You do make a difference. You are making a difference. The world is a better place because you are in it and you are reading cards. All right. I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I will see you on the flip side. Bye.